Alright, we're live. Good morning, everybody. There's probably no one at the moment, but that's fine. Let's see. Oh no, four viewers, Jesus. Right away. Nice. Welcome everyone. We are going to play Elite Dangerous again today. At some point I will get tired of all the hauling, but you know, at the moment I'm still enjoying it. Where are we? I need to bring up voice attack. Everyone's having a good day. I still need to jump into channel on Discord. There we go. And then I just need to bring up the game. Alright. Someone open from there. Let's try it from Steam. We need to talk about... Wow. Some funny thing. It is subscribed for 8 months in a row. Amazing. Game's coming up. And I seem to be having trouble with my chat overlay today. So I'm going to try and, it's kind of working, but kind of not. Which is why I was a little bit delayed trying to get stream started. I was trying to figure out what was going on with it. I keep throwing error messages at me. So I was re-authenticating and a few other things. But we'll see how we go. Oh, I see that. I did not see on my overlay. I did not see the message before that with the animated, more animated one. Okay. This I will switch over. It's one I remember, because I'm bad at that sometimes. There we go. And voila. So I had a little laugh to myself when I read the Frontier forum this morning. So it was so I was getting everything ready. Where Frontier basically admitted that the changes they did to the economy and stuff for colonization was never meant to go live, and they've rolled it back, but it's going to take up to 2 weeks for it to fully undo from all the systems. They really did push the wrong branch to production.
Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, it was in the forum somewhere. They said that they've changed, they've rolled it, they've taken the change out, but it could take up to 2 weeks for every economy to reset. Like, the economy will sort of resets will roll through. Like, and so like they've left it in a very weird state, right? Where it's like all these commanders have spent the last like 5 days trying to figure out everything that's happened and what it all means, and then they're like, yeah, our bad, sorry, we're doing that. Now, maybe just maybe, it might be useful nonetheless, because it could be a feature that they are planning to roll out and it's just not quite complete yet. Boom, 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 boom. It's also kind of weird that they buried that. Well, maybe not. They sort of buried it. They didn't even. It was just mentioned in a post on their forum about the Thursday update that was supposed to happen. That's been delayed a little bit, but they didn't mention it in the update notes or anything, because I'm guessing it's not part of the update. It's something they've already rolled back. But they didn't like put a post that I saw anyway up on like Twitter or anywhere, so it's just a bit strange. Alright. How are we going anyway? Let's switch back to the Imperial Cutter for some hauling. And yeah, I know, like we both me and you were like, this sounds like someone just kind of pushed the wrong branch to production, but surely they didn't do that. Ha ha ha. And they're like, yeah, we never intended to release this, so we're just rolling it back. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, they did. Yeah. It's a reminder that even at big professional organizations where they do this stuff all the time, that you can still screw this up. Alright. We should be close to the colonization megaship. Ta-da! And I'm pretty sure we were doing CMM composites, weren't we? The good news, I played a little bit with Dad after stream on Sunday. Some 16k to go. Nice. I played a little bit with Dad after stream on Sunday, and we got a little bit done, and then I only got like 3 or 4 things handed in for his, and then a visitor showed up, so I quit out and didn't go back, and then
scanning for anomalies, none detected.
Yeah, that's fine. And then I logged, so was it like 20k, and I got up to about 23k, and he was working on it, and then I logged in the other day and it was up to 32k, and then I logged in the other day and it was up to like 47k. 47%, sorry. Alright, let's hide these fleet carriers. So he's actually been picking up the pace and doing most of it, which is good. And then my partner was like, oh, I found a vampire movie on Netflix, so come and watch that. So I did that. That was pretty decent. I mean, it was pretty predictable because it's a vampire movie and they kind of follow the same plot half the time, but it's still pretty decent. Boom, boom. All right. Trailblazer Dream. Oh, I found an interesting system, by the way, you might be interested in. It had a weird little, like, yellow world. To me, anyway, it looked like it kind of had a skull face on it due to the craters when you approach at a certain angle. And it has a lot of bodies and stuff. And a decent name as well. I'll dig it out. Where did I store that information? Bum, 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 bum. The only thing is that nobody has a built system within like 15 light things, but there is someone who was working on a system that got about a week to go, maybe less than a week to go, and they were only 50% done on the outpost, so they might have just given up.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
I'll send it to you in a private DM. Let's see. There we go. Doesn't have any... Yeah, either that or real life got in the way. That's true. But it would only take like one session. We could actually finish the person's outpost for them and then claim that other system for you if you wanted to. Think you have that one on bookmarks? Oh, okay. Yep. CMM composite. There we go.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
I found the Yeah, it definitely is. Yes, I ended up on my other account, but then I found the I found a system that had the primary port location above a volcanic world and another volcanic world right next, right beside it. So I was like, okay, I'm claiming that, and I'm building a tier 2 station. So
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
alright, we've already done that. Alright, cool, we're good. Whee!
Frameshift drive charging.
I wonder if I can find the
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
I think Commander Meekin has a video up about what they said in the forums, where the literal like thumbnail in the start of the video just has him with his head in his hands, with this like post up behind him on the
Frameshift drive charging.
yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. So it goes, hi folks, we're aware there's some issues with facilities of system colonization and economics during the weekend. This was an error and not an intentional change and has been reverted. We're committed to looking at improvements and potential changes to the way facilities and the economy works in regards to system colonization. Yeah. As well as how we can improve documentation. Where possible, we will endeavour to share economic and facility changes and update notes. We thank you for your continued patience and feedback. Yeah, and then there was another post further on where they clarified that it could take up to 2 weeks with some systems to fully roll back. Yeah, so some dev somewhere is getting raked over the coals about pushing stuff to production.
Frameshift drive charging.
Navigation for next system.
2, 1. Engage.
Checking systems now.
To be fair, they should have owned up to it though. Like probably, like if they've already rolled it back, then
Arrival in 5, 4, 3.
that means that probably it was rolled back before today, and was probably they realised they've done it an error, and we're going to have to roll it back before that. Ah, yes, yeah. Look, I don't think they should be I don't think they should be fired over it. Like, everybody makes mistakes as long as they're not doing it all the damn time. Like, you know, but you're definitely getting raked over the coals a little bit.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
But Frontier could have also just put a post up on Twitter saying, hey, you know, like, within 2 or 3 days of that change being put up there and the community noticing it, being like, hey, we know this is up there, we know this is in live, we didn't intend it to be, please don't spend a lot of time trying to figure this out, we are rolling it back in the next day or 2. And we could have saved a lot of commanders a lot of, like, mental effort, I guess. It's whoop, too fast. It's got a lot of stuff in it, a lot of bodies, and yeah, there's just like, I don't know, the small little yellow planet caught my attention. It's kind of a weird one that I don't see very often on a map, on a system map. So I went and took a close flyby of it, and it was kind of cool looking at it. Like, it's not landable, you can't build anything on it, it's only got the one space above it. But, yeah. But it was cool looking, and the way I approached, like, from a certain distance until you got right up close, it kind of looked like it had like a skull face or something on it, just due to the craters and the shape of the colors and stuff, which I thought was kind of cool. There's no guarantee that if you build a station above it, that would end up with that particular, like, optical illusion on the view when you're approaching the station or anything. It's going to depend on distance and what side of the planet it's on, I guess. But still, I mean, interesting system, lots of bodies. I think I see an Ed.
Docking request granted.
$14K to go. That's even better. It was late when you stopped fiddling with things. Yeah, fair enough.
Landing gear deployed.
Actually, update the stream title or not on this one. Let me check for a second here. Boom, boom. Alright.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Boom. Construction. Boom, 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 boom.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Alright, off we go. Just a touch over 13K to hand in.
Frameshift drive.
I'm not sure if I will get all that done before I have to go to stream. I mean, I gotta stop streaming and go to work. But, you know, we should make a dent at least.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Hull integrity is within limits. All other systems.
Hey, Joe babes. How's it going? Did you guys have well, you girls, I should say, have a good relaxing weekend? Guys in the much more colloquial sense. Ed is saying for a small quality of life thing, the way I had it previously, I had to
Frameshift drive
keep being docked
charging.
in order for things to register where I deliver. Now I don't. Show me a few seconds from the loop time. Worth, maybe, possibly, probably. I don't know. It's probably worth it depending on how long it took you to make that change to the tool.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Let's give Joe give me a second here once I get out of this jump so I don't fly into a star. I'll give Joe Babes a shout out. The advantages of actually having a mod would be great here. There we go. Few hours to play them in time, so pausing often. Yep. If you haven't checked out the Joy Babes channel, you should give it a look at some point. It's two streamers, Kyrie and Rinny, who are married and often have a fair bit of good banter going back and forth as they do stuff. They don't stream as much. They're more doing YouTube videos these days. So maybe maybe check them down on YouTube and
Frameshift drive charging.
give them a follow if you're keen on that kind of thing. I think it's subscribe on YouTube, isn't it? Not follow.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
All right.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one, engage.
All right. And I want to take a moment and shut that door. Very, very cold breeze coming in the house today. Feels very wintry. Yeah, even the dogs gave up on being outside and they're just napping on the sofa. You had snow early-ish morning. Was very surprised, unusual for April. Yeah. Do you get a lot of snow during winter? Or like... Like, is it like white on the ground most of the winter, or is it like the occasional snow flurry and then? Where I live, there's almost never snow Almost never snows where I live even in winter, but there will be snow on the mountains nearby during the winter months. Used to get a lot of snow when I was a kid. Nowadays it's next to non-existent in the capital system. Maybe a few days of very mild snow cover. Yeah. Your climate is definitely changing.
Docking request granted.
I can drive to the snow from where I am during winter. Probably in like not the whole winter, but like for a week or so after a heavy snow like fall from a cold system is blowing through, there'll be a lot of snow on some of the lower hills and you can sort of drive up to it. But even that, it's getting, as you say, it's getting less frequent, I guess. So we did have snow, big snow thing that hit the country a number of years ago, with like two weather systems hit over Antarctica and shot a jet stream of Antarctic air up over all of New Zealand, and there was just snow like everywhere. It was snowing in Auckland. But that's a very, very rare occurrence. It's like once every 25 years or something like that will happen.
Docking successful.
It's always fun when it does though. Alright, commodities market. More CMM components. Composites.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, off we go. Just message. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Navigation for next system.
2.
Engaging.
So what's everyone else been up to? If there is anyone else.
Confirming exit point eliminated. Stand
by. One of those days at work yesterday where like everything was just not quite going wrong, but just, I don't know, taking forever. I had reports that would normally run in like a couple of minutes that I use for month-end reporting, and they were taking like a half an hour plus to run, and
Frameshift drive charging.
trying to do stuff with like things on my laptop was taking forever, and I don't know if we were having network issues or,
4,
Vector
3,
but it was very frustrating. And then I got reminded that I had to upgrade my work laptop from Windows 10 to Windows 11 because Windows 10 is going out of support for like security features and stuff. So I had to do that as well. Now I've got to deal with Windows 11 on my work laptop. God damn it. I suppose I'll get used to it.
Frameshift drive charging.
Boom, 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 boom. System colonization beacon. Oh, system colonization ship. Whoop. Boom, 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 boom. But I did get through the monthly report on yesterday that I needed to get done. I have quarterly reports I have to get done now though. Hopefully today everything will be running faster.
And you just jinxed it.
Hmm? Oh, hey.
And you have just jinxed it. Hello.
Yeah. What? I said, oh, hi, Ed, and it decided to take me to Galnet News. Captain Kirk doing weird things again. Which made me a loop of glory, but it's not my fault this time. I was coming in at the right speed. I just...
You need to relax, my friend. Lighten up.
Listen, Captain Kirk. You're messing with me. You're telling me to lighten up. I don't appreciate it. I'm gonna start beefing with William Shatner on Twitter over this.
A little bit of trolling. You gotta allow it. Would be funnier if it was the 1st of April.
Docking request granted.
Hey Robbie, how's it going? Just getting home from work, been a very rainy day. Yeah, that happens. I don't mind the rainy days. Well, I mostly don't mind the rainy days because it means I don't have to remember to water my plants and stuff, you know, like my lemon tree or, you know, any of the stuff that's outside. It can be a bit of a pain if it decides to be a rainy day when I'm leaving work and having to walk all the way to where my car's parked though. That's generally less fun. Yeah, the rain noises on the roof are actually quite nice.
Engines disengaged.
At least, you know, until suddenly you get a lot heavier noises and you realise that your gutter's overflowing, you may need to get up there and clean it out at some point. That's happened to me occasionally.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Yeah, I've been to a few hiking huts that have tin roofs, and it can be quite loud. It's the tin roof ones are nice when it's a very light rainfall, and quite loud when it's a heavy rainfall.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, off we go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I'll have to accept that after the jump. That's okay.
Well, at least now you noticed.
Scanning for
I had the one come through before, didn't it?
Yes.
Actually 3.
3. Sorry, I'm a little bit, you know, something this morning. I don't know. Not the best night's sleep.
No worries.
Yeah, not the best night's sleep.
Nothing kept you up.
I did one of those little.
What?
You go.
Frameshift drive charging.
No, I just asked whether something kept you up, and if so, then what?
Dogs are being a bit active. My partner asked if she could come to bed and watch some TV stuff on her phone, and I was like, sure, thinking that she would fall asleep relatively quickly. She was still watching stuff on her phone when I got up to come stream. So
Okay.
that woke me up a couple of times during the night. Yeah. The volume kept creeping back up, and I'd like wake up and be like, alright, turn it back down again. So yeah, next time I'm going to be a little bit more like, you can watch stuff, but only for a little bit.
Frameshift drive
It was a kind of a Netflix TV show there where I think it was a slow burn, so it started off being relatively quiet, and then by the last couple of episodes it was very action packed. So
That's where the light velocity reached.
so the action packed stuff was quite noisy, unfortunately.
That's how action usually goes, but yeah.
Yeah.
Engaging exit protocol.
Yeah, the vampire movie we were watching last night, we actually ended up having to turn the volume down. Because every time Been watching The Expanse. I haven't watched that one yet. Is it good? I've heard good things about it.
I've tried watching that one several times. I just can't.
Fair enough.
Frameshift drive charging.
It fails to catch my attention, if you will.
Yeah, no, we were watching a vampire movie that was based off the Dracula
3, 2,
types and vampire stories, right? So I think the guy actually was Dracula, and probably it wasn't specifically named that to try to probably avoid some sort of copyright problems or something, but yeah, and it was very, whenever they went to do the jump scares, it was very loud on the volume, just ridiculously loud. I get that the volume changes for different things, so I don't have to change quite that much. So it was either set the volume at a particular level and not blow your eardrums out and disturb the neighbors while the jump scares were happening, but not be able to hear the normal dialogue, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that films used to do not so long ago. Just the action-packed parts were just so loud, and the dialogue was next to non-existent.
Yeah.
Well, not non-existent. It was very quiet.
Yeah, I get that it probably works well in like a picture cinema or something with proper soundproofing and stuff.
I guess so.
Yeah, like maybe it was quite like, ooh, jump scare, immersive. Like, it feels like a cheap way to do a jump scare with the sound, to be honest. But like when you're watching it at home, it's just like, oh my god. It feels like they need to have like a theatrical release with it, and then change the volume levels a bit for when they release it, like for home viewing or something.
Yeah.
Robbie, yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoyed Battlestar Galactica more. I haven't actually watched the new Battlestar Galactica. I tried to find it on streaming services a couple of years ago in New Zealand and it just wasn't there. Might be there now though. I'll have to go have a look. So I was like, should I pirate it? And I was like, I'm sure it'll show up at some point.
docking request granted. Landing gear deployed.
Solo Leveling Ragnarok just finished its first like volume, I guess, or something, like 47 chapters. Skeptical is a little older, but it's in your top 5 shows now. Yeah,
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
that's a pretty high recommendation. I'm gonna have to check it out. Let's see, actually. Yeah, it might tell me Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica. Flix. I'll just try Flix, yeah. Clicks in Z. Where to watch Battlestar Galactica Season 1. Yeah, look. I'll share this so you can see what I'm talking about. It actually hasn't changed, damn it. So, this is the site I normally go to find out whether something, what like streaming service something is on. And it literally just goes for Battlestar Galactica Season 1. It just goes, we aren't aware of any way to watch Battlestar Galactica Season 1 in New Zealand. If we got that wrong, please contact us. Like, god damn it.
Yeah. Time to pirate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pirate it. I mean, it's an old show. It should be on a streaming service here. Like, I'm paying for so many different streaming services. If it's not on one of them, then, you know. If it's not on one of them, then I'm like, well, it's not what I want. What am I doing? If it's not on one of them, then I should be able to pirate it. No one gets to point fingers at me.
Or watch it online. I can send you a site that I'm using for watching things online.
Sure.
Don't even have to download it.
Yeah, I mean, stream it from like some sort of TV, unlicensed TV site. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But send me the one you're using anyway, because probably most of the ones I've used in the past have probably been shut down by now.
Fair point.
Or they're full of like bloody horrible ad pop-ups and stuff. That.
Well, these ones have pop-up ads as well, but well, I have a ad block, so I don't really see them often.
Navigation for next system.
Yeah,
But you might be.
I use an
might
ad.
need to deal with those.
Yeah, I use an ad block for those sites. So sometimes the places, the ones I use, manage to work around it. There seems to be like a somewhat running like war between the people doing the ads and the ad blockers. Yeah. Aha, we worked out how to block your ads. We'll find a new way to make the ads appear. Alright, we worked out how to block that too. That's alright, we'll find another new way. It's like, god damn it.
Frameshift drive charging.
I don't actually know why they bother, to be honest. Like, if you're deliberately using an ad blocker, you don't want to see their ads. Their ads popping up, it's just going to annoy you. It's not going to make you want to buy their product. If I'm using an ad blocker on a site and I'm trying to do something and an ad just pops up in my face, I'm not going to be like, ooh, I should buy that. I'm just going to be annoyed.
Well, you are. That's you and me and several hundred other people, but yeah, I'm pretty sure most people, well, not most, but at least some people would get distracted and click the ads. And get scammed, of course.
Yeah.
Frameshift drive
I
charging.
sent you the website where I've been watching things for past, oh, I don't know, a year.
Alright. Thank you.
Works well. Sometimes you have to switch between the providers
Yeah.
of the hosted movie because, you know, they do get deleted, but most of the time things work.
Yeah.
Engaging exit protocols.
Alright, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very surprising that an old show like Battlestar Galactica, I mean, it's not super old, but old enough, right? That it should be in. That probably the exclusive sort of deals have expired or whatever. That hasn't been picked up by New Zealand streaming service.
Frameshift drive charging.
Who produces it? Like, who was it originally aired by? Sorry, I mean,
3,
more than who produces it.
1. Engage.
Apparently it's owned by NBC Universal and stopped streaming 13 years ago.
Ah, yeah. Sci-Fi Channel? That could make sense. So what you probably got is them holding it on their platform and they just haven't, I don't like their own streaming sort of site, and they're just not releasing it to other places where they don't, like it'll be geo-blocked to US and Canada and a few other places probably. It's a weird approach sometimes that they do that, where they're like, you know, like we have our own site and then we will, you can watch the shows on there, but only if you're in the US or Canada or something. It's like, okay, cool, we'll sell the show to Netflix for other regions, or sell the show to a streaming service in some of the other regions, just for those regions that you don't allow to access your website then. Oh no, we're not going to do that. We don't want to make more money and show the show to more people.
Yep.
Right. And I could understand, like, not doing that if they had plans, like, to expand into those regions.
Request granted.
But they don't seem to a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, but even then, like, make a 5-year contract that, yes, we will lease it to you for 5 years, and then if we do expand, then okay, fine, we'll do it on our own, and if not, then you can keep streaming it.
Yeah, like the,
Or prolong the deal, you know, renew the license to stream.
yeah, like, the Marvel shows that were on Netflix, the original, like, the Daredevil one and Jessica Jones and that, they were like Marvel were like, oh, you know, we're sort of merging in with Disney, and Disney are gonna have Disney Plus, and so we're gonna license, but it's not set up yet, so we're gonna license these shows to Netflix, and then we're gonna have a thing where we can pull them off Netflix and put them on Disney Plus after a certain amount of time. And that's what they did, essentially.
Yep.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Oh, you were parking behind me. Nice.
Yep. What? I didn't deliver the CMM composites. God damn it. I got distracted. It's the second time I've done that, god damn it.
Did you already launch before delivering?
No, I've come back from, what I think has happened is I've picked up the, oh, no, I'm in the, so I'm getting confused. There we go. I need to transfer. So I was at the mega ship buying. Ugh, brain is fried today. Maybe I should take the day off work. I'm no, gonna be the best.
Maybe before bringing production down.
Yeah. Go to work and be like, post changes to production. Oh no. I'll be honest, when you're building reports, half the time you just build them directly in production anyway.
That is true.
And then occasionally new testers show up and be like, what do you mean you build stuff directly in production? It's like, it's a report. I'm not making any changes to, like, production data or features of production systems. And if I give a person a report based on test data and ask them to sign off on it, then they're going to be confused about what they're looking at because the test data isn't, you know,
No unusual.
what they expect. So, build the port, pull production data, give it to the person, and then they're looking at actual data and they can go, yes, it's what I was roughly what I was expecting to see, or this looks weird, can you explain this? And away you go.
Frameshift drive charging.
We're putting in place a whole new proper reporting platform
3, 2, 1.
for like a data warehouse and stuff underneath it and a whole bunch of stuff. So that's probably going to have some UAT
Arrival
bits and pieces.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We'll have development and, well, we do have development and test environments for that. There's more to do with like the data, changes to the data inside the data warehouse structure and the data marts and stuff. A little bit less about the actual reports themselves.
Frameshift drive charging.
I've also noticed that streaming services in New Zealand are getting a bit slow to release stuff. Like new content. It seems to be taking longer to get to the point where it's actually like watchable on just a normal subscription. Like some of the subscription services have an extra like rental thing where you like
Frameshift drive charging.
pay money to rent the latest releases, and then they just seem to take so long. Like stuff that was released in the later half of last year,
3, 2,
like 6 months ago, is still on the rental services and hasn't been released live to the streaming like stuff for just the monthly cost.
Hull integrity is within limits. All
And
other
that's
systems
getting annoying.
Can I imagine?
So maybe I do want to watch Kraven the Hunter without paying $8. It might not be good.
Yeah, that's more or less why I don't even own a TV. Or am mostly even... I don't think I even subscribe to any streaming services anymore. I know I used to be subscribed to Netflix, but I cancelled that like a year ago at this point.
I don't know what it is about Netflix, but they used to be really good. And then now that it's getting harder and harder to like look at what's coming up on being released on Netflix and find something I want to watch. But I don't know if it's because I'm getting pickier as I get older and I've got more stuff like draining my time now, so I'm a bit more like I only really want to watch the really good stuff. But I've got time to watch something on. Or maybe it's more and more streaming services have like The Dark Universe came out, The Crown and Stranger Things. Yeah, see that kind of stuff, right? Like Netflix used to release that kind of quality show fairly frequently. And now shows of that quality are like, what? Once every year, once every 6 months or something like that.
You and far between, dude.
Yeah. And it's like, is it the other streaming services, all the other streaming services that are spun up that are like pulling shows away from Netflix, I guess? So Netflix has less choice about what it grabs. I would have thought that Netflix would be able to outcompete a lot of them having an existing customer base and more money to throw at a show to purchase it. But it's taking a long time to disengage.
Yeah, nowadays I don't even bother to resubscribe to the streaming services. I'll just wait like a few days, maybe sometimes even not that, for the show to release or the episode or the movie to release on the website that they just sent. They are fairly quick to get the movies out, or the content out.
Yeah, so it's a weird
So
thing.
I don't really have to wait long.
Yeah. So it's a weird thing, right? Like piracy was big back in the day, and then like you had a couple of big streaming services like Netflix come along, and the piracy problem dropped off, and now you've got so many services that it's like, you know, like, do I bother subscribing to all of these? And then, no, maybe I'll subscribe to one or two, and then I'll pirate the rest, and then it's like, eventually you just get back to, I should just pirate everything and not bother subscribing.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So there was a problem, a solution showed up, and now the solution is causing the problem to reappear. Like, not a problem for us, a problem for the show, people that produce the TV shows and movies, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's capitalism and greed, you know. The first few streaming services that came out made bank. Everyone saw that there is potential to earn money, and now we are where we are.
Yeah.
Cargo hold at maximum
And look,
capacity.
not even all the TV shows and stuff hate piracy either, right? Did you see what the people that produced Game of Thrones said when they were asked about it?
No.
So the people that produced Game of Thrones were in an interview, and someone said, your show is now the most pirated show ever. What are your thoughts on that? And they basically said, hey, look, you know, like, it's not available in every region, right? Like, it's like streaming services are great and all, but like sometimes people can't afford it, and like, you know, people pirate the show, they like it, they tell other people, that drives a lot of the hype around the show, and the hype around the show is actually driving more sales, and we make more, you know, and it works out in our favor, so we're not that worried about it. They basically were like, most pirated show ever, great, people love our show, cool. You know, like, totally.
Yeah, that is a sane take on it, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah, I like people that are like, I've gotten into arguments with people online. I'm like trying to stop getting into arguments with people online. Got into one with someone, not really an argument, a conversation with someone on Twitter yesterday, and then it was just like, oh, this is going nowhere. I'm not. It was about a completely different subject anyway, but I've had that argument before. People are like, piracy is theft, and I'm like, no, that's a particular crime. This is copyright infringement,
Frameshift drive charging.
which is a little different.
And you can't even argue that you have quote-unquote stolen money from the show producers, because most of the people that pirate stuff were never going to pay for it anyway.
Yeah, that's you like what I saw in the past before all the streaming services came out is people had a set amount of spare money, right? And the people that had a set amount of spare money, like especially like the geeks and stuff, they would spend the money on whatever was really, you know, they go out and buy DVDs of their favorite TV show, like series or whatever, you know, before streaming things on the internet was much more common or whatever. They'd spend the money on merch and other stuff
Drive charging.
for the worlds and the things they liked, and then they run out of money, and then it's like, you know, so then they'll be like, well, I've still got time to consume stuff, so they'll go and like pirate a bunch of stuff. They were never going to pay for that content. They didn't have the money to, right? So if they couldn't pirate it, they'd just not watch it. There wasn't any lost sale there. But if you pirate it, it's really good, and then you tell like 5 other people, and 3 of them pirate it, and 2 of them buy it online, that's 2 sales that have been driven that otherwise might not have happened.
I fully agree.
Yeah. So Robbie's like, if I really like the show, I'll sometimes end up buying the series on Blu-ray after. Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's also true. That is actually the similar logic I have for games as well. Like sometimes I'm not sure if I want to play the game, and then I pirate it, see it's good, and I just purchase it.
Yeah.
This is actually how I started playing Euro Truck Simulator. Like,
Navigation for next.
I'm not sure I want to drive trucks across the entirety of, well, most of the Europe, because back then only parts of Europe were available. Well, a few years later I own the game and I have 100% map completion, you know, and legally.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Yeah, so people will, yeah, as you say, people will pirate games, try them out, and then they will buy them because they want to be able to get the proper achievements, and maybe you can't do that if it's pirated, or, you know. And as Robbie says, like they used to get demos for games, like playable demos for games all the damn time. And like, so you could try a game out and get a feel for it, you know.
Frameshift drive charged.
Now they do the early release, like, you know, like you pay the full price for the game and you can play it early, but it only has so much of the features, and it's like, well, I'm still paying the full price to figure out if I want, you know, like the game or not. Doesn't work unless I'm sure it's going to be a good game. Like I did it for Baldur's Gate 3, I paid for the early access, or like, you know, when it was only the first chapter, because
Scanning for anomalies.
like I was a huge fan of the Baldur's Gate series, and I was pretty sure they were going to do a good job on it. But I'm not paying full price for early access to a game I have no idea if I want to play or not. So yeah, they need to go back to doing the free demos again. System colonization ship.
Docking request granted.
Once you deliver less than 4% will be necessary.
Landing gear deployed.
What was that, sorry?
Once you deliver, less than 4% will be necessary to deliver.
Nice.
I mean, still 7,000, 9,000 components, but you know.
Yeah.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
96%. Look at that.
Yeah, it was a 95.92 before you delivered.
Landing gear retracted.
Nice.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Polarization mega ship.
Frameshift drive charging.
All right.
Leaving system.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Engaging exit protocols.
Wee.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating.
Speed that up a little bit.
Warning. Taking heat damage.
There we go.
Frameshift drive charging.
Vector.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
Bum, 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 bum. It's just going to be interesting to see what they do with the economy
Ready
stuff.
for exit.
I feel like if they had a branch of stuff or a bunch of changes that accidentally pushed to production, then that's probably the way that they're actually headed. They just did it prematurely. Maybe they're going to tidy it up a little bit more.
Frameshift drive charging.
So my understanding was the way it was working was that it was each planet had an economy type or multiple economy types that would impact stations and stuff on them or around them, and then the overall influx of everything would like influence the system economy. Although if that was the way they were going to go, you think they might have left the changes in the system and just worked on patching it up and then pushing the patch out.
Depends on how balanced it was. Like if it was going to throw the entire system into disarray, then it's easier to disable it.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. And maybe they hadn't. I mean, you do run that risk as well, right? You're like, do we leave it in and then just work it up? And if it hasn't been tested properly, it could be having. You might be worried it's having unexpected, like, impacts on the BGS and existing systems, or. Yeah. Interesting little peek behind the curtain on what they got planned, though. Well, potentially anyway. half the questions on that thread were also, is the Cobra being released for credits? And there was no answer to that. But it feels...
Yeah, I wonder why.
It feels too soon, I think. Like, maybe I'm wrong and it's just time's gotten away on me, but it feels like the Mandalay wasn't released that long ago.
It definitely wasn't. What was it, like January? Early-ish January.
It's 3 months, maybe it is about right then.
Docking request granted.
Slow down for auto dock. There we go. Bum 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 bum.
Landing gear deployed.
Oh, there's a Type 7 transporter landing at your, so it's a Type 7 transporter.
That's the colonization ship that you collect, not deliver.
Oh yeah, that's true. So it's not delivering stuff to your ship.
Not mine, no.
Yeah. Dad was getting... Dad was getting quite irritated when we were playing. It was like, why are all these ships docking at my colonization ship? And I was like, oh, it's just NPCs, the game spawns them. They're not doing anything. And he's like, they should be delivering stuff.
I mean, it's such a no-brainer to make that happen. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Or well, it hasn't happened from the get-go. Make the NPCs work for you.
Yeah. And then he got suspicious. He's like, they're not stealing my stuff, are they? It's like, no, they're not stealing your stuff. Once it's delivered, it's delivered.
It makes even less sense on the planetary basis. Like, they are still landing there as well. Doing nothing.
Yeah, it's the tour ships that crack me up, like the big passenger liners. Like, and out this side, if you watch, we're going to be landing at a construction site.
If you've never seen one in your life, well, now you have. You can't even observe the progress station being built.
Frameshift drive charging.
Reminds me of one time I was, we got a ferry service, right, boats that run between the North and South Island in New Zealand. And so I was doing some travelling and I was coming back to the North Island and it was during the winter months, I think, and it got dark pretty early. And I was like, oh, well, not much to see really, like, so I'm gonna go and watch a movie because the ship had a movie theater on board. So went down, like, watched the movie, very expensive ticket. But I was like, well, you know, at least it'll keep me entertained for like 2 hours of the 3-hour trip. And then right towards the end of the movie, as it was getting like to the climax of the whatever the big action scene was, like it all got drowned out by like a loudspeaker coming on with the captain saying, "Well, everyone, we're entering Wellington Harbour, and if you look to the left and it was daylight, you'd be able to see the Wellington and the Harbour heads or something." And you're like, "Go, Jess, shut the hell up." If you look to that side and it was daylight, you'd be able to see. So I don't like. You shouldn't be interrupting the movie for anything except for a boat is sinking emergency broadcast.
Yeah.
Had the same thing on a bus trip as well. Like overnight bus trip going up the North Island, like half the people are asleep in the bloody on the seats in the bus, and like the bus driver's like,
Drive charging.
attention everyone, if you look out the right side window and it was daylight, you'd be able to see Mount Ruapehu. It's like, god damn it, I've seen Mount Ruapehu before and I was sleeping, and you can't even see anything at the moment anyway.
It is an interesting, useless fact that distracted you from whatever you were doing. That is really unimportant.
Yeah.
Thank you for traveling with us.
Yeah. Yeah, they pay me to make these announcements. It's part of my job description, and I have to do it whether or not it makes sense. That's basically the impression I was getting for that.
That is also possible.
Oh, another destination. Yeah.
Frameshift drive charging.
System colonization ship. There we go. Too fast. I dropped into the blue on the speed bar a little too late there, I think. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Dad wants to name his station after his partner when it's built. I'm like, you can do that, but you're gonna have to pay actual money or grind the game for a fair bit of time.
Yeah.
Docking request granted.
For at least, what is it? 13 months? To get the 5,000 arc?
So it's what, 400 a week? So
400 a week, yeah. So 10 weeks is 4,000, so 12 weeks, sorry, 12 weeks. So 3 months, 4 months.
yeah, 13 weeks. Yeah, 3-4 months. It's not too bad, really. Like,
Yeah. But you do have to play enough to earn the full 400 arcs.
Landing gear deployed.
you can earn it relatively quickly if you're doing a proper play session or something, like bounty hunting or something like that, but then sometimes it can also seem to drag if you're just doing random stuff. I could probably always gift him the 5,000 ARX at some point though.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Gonna have a little bit more spending money again. 7,500 left. Well, 7,538, something like that.
Looks like 86, but yeah.
What I need probably is one of those nodding birds from like the Simpsons, so I could just keep hitting the keyboard, and then I could have a nap while while at work, and not go inactive for like 4 hours.
Well, with our kind of line of work, it's a little hard to fake doing something when, you know, you're producing a report and or writing code.
Yeah. That is
And you don't quite have infinite monkeys to eventually produce the code you need.
maybe that's the approach FDev was using. Maybe they got an infinite monkey machine.
I mean,
No anomalies detected.
at this point I wouldn't be surprised.
What is it the saying? If you have an infinite amount of monkeys doing work for an infinite amount of time, or like on typewriters or something, one of them will eventually produce Shakespeare.
Yeah, the entirety of Shakespeare's work. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Warning, temperature critical.
The monkeys are sitting there, the typewriters go, we're not producing that dribble, we're creating our own masterpieces.
Frameshift drive charging.
To swing or not to swing, that is the question.
Navigation for next system.
2, 1, engage.
Confirming exit point telemetry. Stand by.
Whee.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright. Should have time for one more run, I guess.
Already gotta go.
Yeah, we're supposed to be at work in like 13 minutes. I should have time to do one more delivery though. I think it's pretty easy. I mean, I'm sure you can finish it off from there. It's only like, it'd probably be down around 6,000 tons.
Yeah, 6 still.
And it'll be done. You'll have your big tier 3 station.
Soon TM.
Warning, temperature critical.
Because the road back the economy things, it will just produce mass amounts of bio-waste.
Yeah, unfortunately.
At least until they actually fix what they're doing with the economies properly. I'm sure at some point down the line it'll be did it have other orbital spots in the
4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm not sure what you're asking. Try to ask a full question.
yes, let me phrase this correctly and not be half-assed about it.
Engaging exit program.
Did the planet around which you're building the station as a primary port have additional orbital construction slots available? I mean, I can check myself.
I don't
but
think so. I don't think so.
yeah, you kind of.
I think it was just. I think it was just the one, but I'm not entirely sure if it's going to put the station in the 0th slot or it's building in the first one. I cannot tell from the map view.
Yeah, because sometimes it looks like it puts it in a whole separate slot that doesn't even exist. And then, like, well, the construction ship. It's a little bit weird like that.
I mean, I guess we shall find out soon enough, but, you know. In like 2 hours.
Yeah, because if you have another orbital thing, like I'm pretty sure those orbital installations could change the economy of your station.
Yeah. Well, I think the ground station is actually required to change the economy, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't know, like, it was a little unclear, like, I'm sure Commander Meekin said on some of his early stuff that the space installations did impact the economy, but then he mostly talked about ground stations. And I think that was because he was trying to do, like, 50-50, right? And it was very rare, like, 50-50 economies, and it was very rare to find probably somewhere where, like, the primary port or whatever had 2 additional orbital slots. So in theory, don't quote me on this, but in theory, like, you could 50-50 a station with 2 additional orbital slots to, like, 2 installations. But he seemed to think it was just easier to do 2 different hubs on the planet's surface.
Docking request
Yeah.
granted.
Which is probably also because doing that will give you some tier 3 build points towards a bigger station as well. I wonder if there's so many notifications about... Yeah. It's fine.
Landing gear deployed.
Bum 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 bum.
Docking successful.
Oh, there goes Ed.
Disengaged.
So a flash of a ship and then the red vapor trails. Let's buy this stuff first, otherwise it will be probably change the route.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Bum, bum,
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Alright, have a drink while I jump. Bum, 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 bum.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I wonder how those I'll check in a second, but I wonder how those community goals are going.
Good question.
Let me have a look. Transactions.
Tier 3 and
Transaction.
tier 1.5, apparently. So decent enough?
Yeah. Tier 3. Still in the top 25%, surprisingly. And tier 1. Yeah.
Yeah, people are too busy with colonization.
Warning, frameshift drive operating
Yeah.
beyond safety limits. Warning, temperature critical. Frameshift drive charging.
I dragged Dad off to do it to earn some more credits for him, but I got a feeling in his unengineered ship he might find it a little frustrating.
2, 1, engage.
Okay.
I just remember trying to do combat zones in an unengineered combat ship.
Oh yeah.
It just took forever to kill anything, and half the time you ended up having to
Yeah.
run.
Temperature
That is true.
at an acceptable level.
Well, you can always take in pirate hunting. That should be fine.
Yeah, we've done that a couple of times.
Fair enough.
He's down
Then
to,
take him on an exobiology trip.
no, I barely even taught him how to land at the station, let alone land on an actual planet.
Fair point.
4, 3,
No, he's quite happy mucking around hauling cargo. Though he still seems to think gravity wells speed him up. And I'm pretty sure I know what's going on there. I think as he's approaching places, he's flying too close to the planet, being slowed down by the planet's gravity well, and then he's speeding up to try and compensate. And then comes out of the planet towards the station and just overshoots it.
Fair enough.
And he's like, the gravity wells speed me up. No, they slow you down and you're overcompensating. And when you come out of the gravity well, suddenly your ship goes, oh, you're after full speed. Okay,
frameshift drive charging.
we can do that. Yeah, it was like to me, it was like, why did the gravity well suddenly appear beside my colonization ship? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And it's like, I flew the colonization ship this time and it said gravity well warning and it wasn't last time. And I'm like, you probably approached from the planet side this time and didn't last time. I wasn't, it didn't seem to be buying my explanation though. Like, I don't know. Sure he'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, the game is notoriously bad at giving players information, so...
Yeah.
Warning, fuel low.
Alright. System colonization ship.
landing gear deployed.
Boom, 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 boom.
Docking successful. Engines.
It's quite intriguing how the auto docking computer just brings your nose first down towards the platform and then somehow spins around and it ends up directly above it. Like, I'm sure if I tried that, it would not quite work out that well.
Probably not, but then again, you are not the docking computer, so no one could fault you for that.
Alright. 5,434 required. Alright. I'm gonna have to find someone to raid out to and go to work. I'm guessing, knowing what you're like with this kind of thing, Ed, that you'll probably continue and finish it off.
I mean, I would like to, but it's 30 minutes to midnight and I probably should go sleep.
True. That's fair. Yeah.
I'll see. I mean, what is it, like 7, maybe 8 rounds? That's still 2 hours of work to go.
Yeah, fair.
Not
Very
sure if
fair.
I want to go sleep at 2 AM again. I'll see. I'll let you know. If I do finish it, I'll let you know. And you
Okay.
can check it out or during lunch, if I do finish it.
Yeah. Let me know if you do or don't, and that way I know if I can come and run a few more things after work, maybe, if need be.
Sure.
Alright, we're just gonna raid Minnie's on. Looks like she's doing some sort of subathon? Okay. Alright. I hope everyone's had fun watching me stream today. I've had fun this morning running cargo and just yapping with people. So it's been a good little stream. And I will see everybody probably tomorrow morning for another stream before I go to work. And then after that it'll be the weekend. Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, raid going out.
Enjoy work. Yeah.
See ya. Raid going out now.
Damien's the only one that Israel goes into illusion saving, rescuing. That's kind of cute. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like it. Put it in our DM serving. Little wormwood. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the gift of sub. Hi, Wormy. Hi. Hello and hello, Win Arctos. Hello, Win Arctos is playing Elite. Dangerous. Please go check out Win. Hello. I hope Win was winning today. Hello, welcome in. Also, how's the photography business going, Win? Mini makes every day long. Is that good or bad? Jed is so snuggly. Jed is adorable.
Goodbye.
Starving is too much of a genius. I need to like just too smart. Well, for most of me, accidentally I was working on retirement and my comment was being